Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends from all over the world, from hotter than ever Berlin. I greet you, 48 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's do this. And I gotta stop the stream for that, but it's crazy here. I hope you had a great, cool weekend, my friends. We went yesterday, just go sunbathing, because in Berlin, when there's no air conditioning to be had, you need to go to the forest and just, take a bath and relax, cool off. And actually yesterday I managed to finally play the last episode of Life is Strange 2. Played that game when it came out, but I actually forgot to play the last episode as well. Let's just say I didn't like it as much as the first Life is Strange, which I was a big fan of. I managed to finish it pretty intense. Just that I think Life is Strange 2 was too ambitious for its own good, and more of an experiment, let's say, because Life is Strange 2, as compared to Life is Strange 2 is a road movie, okay? So the two boys, Sean and Daniel, they go across America, let's say, living from Seattle, the state of Washington, going southwards to Oregon, Arizona, on their way to, let's say, Mexico, the country where their dad came from. And the problem with a road movie is that in each episode they encounter other characters which we know nothing about, and the episodic format is not very good for the player to get to actually know the other characters or care about them enough to actually make decisions based on that. So it is a bit superficial, let's say, the relationships the two boys, the two main characters, have with the other characters throughout the game. Now I know that in September the third iteration of the Life is Strange series came out, Life is Strange True Colors, and actually because we have the Steam Summer Sale right now, to keep us indoors at these ungodly temperatures, even in summer. I actually got the Life is Strange colors, and I'm going to give it a go, but of course off screen, as we are playing Last Epoch on the stream, just so I don't confuse you guys too much. I'm not going to jump from game to game on this stream, at least not just yet. Maybe in half a year or so, we'll try out something else as well. So yeah, that was my weekend basically. Let's hope we won't die here. That would be nice, of course. I don't even know which modifiers we have. I haven't played the game. I haven't touched the game since Saturday's stream. Yeah, I cannot pick those health potions just because they're all over the place. You have to run across the actual flask and not the name tooltip. It gets a bit confusing sometimes. Just because the flask is not so obvious, not that easy to see. I tried to do it like in Diablo 3, but there you could see those flasks when they were dropping. That's for sure. I actually tried to watch a Diablo 3 stream just for the fun of it, just to watch someone else play. And yeah, I can't stand those graphics anymore, man. There was a lot of fun to be had about Diablo 3's graphics as opposed to the ones in Diablo 2, let's say. It's because they were so colorful. And it's not only because they're colorful, let's say that's not the biggest issue, but the graphics are just so blurry. They're just so blurry, and the style is similar to the Path of Exile, so you just fight a lot of mobs on the screen. And it's just a big mess. Really can't understand what's going on there. Man, so 14 waves? And we're only at wave 10. Chance to dodge, increase health. Shred armor on hit, increased damage, critical strike avoidance. Okay, so basically it's very hard for me to kill them because of the modifiers we have. Maybe, let's just say they don't do as much damage necessarily, but it's very hard for me to kill them, especially with the static warp. Just forget about that. And I think there are some types of mobs which are generally with a lot of health, so it's even tougher. But we're with wave 12, so one more wave will spawn, and eventually we'll get out of here. You can just see that they're all hitting me, but nothing really happens, so they don't hit as hard. But they are hard to kill. They are die hard. They are John McClane. Oh, hopefully we can get out of here in time. Get onto the bridge. Yeah, but I'm running out of mana just because they have so much health. I don't think they're also healing, so at least there's also a mob protecting them from ranged attacks. This one. Yeah, okay. That was risky. These scorpions are tough to kill. They have a lot of HP naturally, and with these modifiers, almost impossible to kill. It's running out of mana all the time, but let's have a bit of patience. Maybe kill this void form. Yeah. So we should have left the scorpions for last, just because we have so much HP anyway. But okay, we're almost done. I don't foresee any deaths from our side, but you never know. So you can see this time I'm spending 5 minutes just to kill all the mobs left and the last wave too. These modifiers are quite insane, but I think we're going to get rid of 2 of them after this echo. Let's just see what happened. This is actually electronic music too, but it's kind of a industrial station, something like that. So it's a mix between electronic and rock. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what's going down here. I'll be right back. That's it. Thank you for waiting. So, oh my god, 60% endurance too. But I think the critical strike avoidance is gone. So yeah, I guess we can try that. But after that comes 108% increased health. So maybe let's just do another echo with something else. Critical strike avoidance again. Heal. Yeah, I guess that's okay. We can do this one. If enemies healing themselves, if you don't hit them often, which is a problem in arenas, and sometimes with Gaspar too. 3 voice fires, thank you. Great way to start the day. Warm ourselves up. So we won't focus on picking anything up from the floor because we really need to avoid these fires. At least the mobs are not doing too much damage. Whoops. Here we go. I can't imagine a class doing echoes like this without any mobility skill. Wow. Need to get out of there 1 second earlier actually. But my reaction times, they aren't what they used to be, I guess. Let's get some mana and get out of here. We can get another spire down ASAP. Yeah, we're not far apart, see. So at least that's good. We can just get them down as fast as possible when we focus on the mobs. Let's see now. Some ranged mobs here as well. They still survive. So they're pretty tough to take down with these modifiers. But yeah. Almost done. Legendary Morning Frost. Don't need those. I have them already. Okay. Actually, do let me know if you played the Life is Strange series, especially this last one, True Colors. I already bought it, but I'm curious what your impression of it was. Was it better than the first Life is Strange? I'm sure it probably is better than Life is Strange 2. I think Life is Strange 2 is the weakest entry in the series. An ambitious project, for sure. But I think making it a road movie type of game made me care less about the other characters really, just because we didn't get to spend too much time with them. I mean, compare that with the first season of The Walking Dead adventure game from Telltale Games, and consider that you play the entire season almost, yeah. Both the main character, the teacher from Georgia, and of course Clementine, which basically defined a new style and pretty much brought back the adventure type of game from the dead. No pun intended. Walking Dead season 1. And yeah, they tried to use some of that in Life is Strange 2 as well, since yeah, you're that kid's brother, Daniel's brother, and he's a 10-year-old kid. Clementine was 11, I think, in The Walking Dead. And you try to, yeah, educate him in one way or another. You don't actually get to make Daniel the evil or anything like that. You just either turn him into a law-abiding citizen, or you teach him that family comes first. and that they should put the two brothers first, yeah, their survival, even if that means breaking the law. I actually went the second route, and the ending was quite satisfying, I would say. The game actually has 4 endings, because you get to choose between one thing and the other, as the main character playing, Sean, the older brother. But it also depends on Daniel agreeing with you or not, because Daniel is, yeah, the little brother is the one with the power, and based on which decisions he took throughout the game, he either agrees with Sean's decision or he doesn't. If they both agree on it, yeah, basically there are 2 endings, one more satisfying, one less satisfying, let's say. So I'm glad I took the more satisfying one for, yeah, for the main character's well-being, let's say. Because life isn't always white and black. It's always shades of gray, and sometimes there isn't good or evil in this world. It's just different shades of gray when it comes to taking decisions, and the game did reflect that well. So Life is Strange 2, not totally worthless to play, just not as good as the first. It couldn't be, right? I'm actually curious, this third iteration in the series, True Colors, which I got yesterday. I'll play through it and maybe make a YouTube video about it afterwards, just to share a few of my impressions. I'm kind of a fan of the series, so I think... Did you know that the developers who made the Life is Strange series are actually French? I didn't believe it either, because the games seem to be so US-like, right? Yeah, the developer is from France, and of course it's published by Square Enix, which is a Japanese company. But the theme of the games in the Life is Strange series was set in America, Seattle, Oregon, and the like. So without spoiling anything, I just read that True Colors might also happen in Oregon, but I'm not sure if it happens in Arcadia Bay, the fictional town in the original Life is Strange game. That would be interesting. I did feel that Life is Strange was a bit ahead of its time, and they were using all those funky technology, let's say, like that digital camera from 20 years ago, and yeah, our mobile phones were just in their infancy, really. They didn't have... Maybe they did have some touchscreen phones, I don't think so. The game came out like in 2013, I think, and the action was taking place, I don't know, something 2008, 2009. But it was kind of funky. So if True Colors also takes place in Arcadia Bay, it would be nice as a new iteration with the technology you have nowadays, or yeah, high schoolers have nowadays, to communicate and tease each other and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll have to see. True Colors came out in September last year, and now it's on the Steam Summer Sale, 50% off. Anyway, I find it crazy expensive, so it's the price of a full game, like 60 euros, I think. So I got 50% off, yeah, 40 euros, the price of Last Epoch. But yeah, Last Epoch actually is on Steam Summer Sale as well, 20% off, so it's now not even 40 euros, so the full price is 24. Sure, you get a lot more replay, very fun games like Last Epoch. Sometimes you do need different types of entertainment as well, I guess. At least I did. I couldn't play just ARPGs all the time, even off screen. It's good to alternate based on your preferences and your free time, let's say. So yeah, almost July and summer is here, man. I can feel it. even streaming is a bit of a chore now with this heat. Actually wondering if our friend Commodores will join us today from his concert. But I don't envy him, I guess. Having a concert in Nebraska isn't all fun and games, not in this heat. Could actually get out of here, right? But not full of poison, preferably. Now let's take this. Let's go. I don't know how many millions of gold I have. Man, I should get out of here, seriously. Oh! It was getting intense with all those rats jumping around. No, thank you. Here we have squirrels, we just jump on the balcony and actually come inside. I was watching a movie, like early in the morning today, and squirrel was just running around the living room, just across the living room, but it saw me and then just ran away. They're damn fast, faster than these jumping rats in the game. So a lot of increased health, and with these mods, I don't know, the enemies have a lot of survivability already. But this is mainly what we get at the top of the monolith, more or less. I'm not sure if I want to explore in this direction. Let's take the 45% critical strike avoidance. Afterwards we get a shred armor on hit modifier, so that's okay. Just to see if there's something else on top of that monolith web. Then we can just focus. So the meaty part of this web in this configuration is at the bottom. And we already did all those sectors there once. We resetted them with the vessel of memory. And at some point we'll use the second vessel of memory we have discovered to reset them again. And we have a total of 3 vessels of memory, 2 of them which we can still use. Yeah, so I'm not very happy to get mobs with a lot of survivability, especially in echoes that have as an objective to destroy spires. Just because the spires themselves will have a lot of health as well, but also because it's tough to go through these mobs, and you actually have to fight a mob, which takes a long time. And yeah, those spires also bomb us to hell. I should take down that void cleric first, because those void bombs are crazy. Wow. They are also killing themselves if you don't damage them, so static orb won't do a lot of damage here. We'll have to take them down one by one. Good. Let's carry on. Let's see this grind here. Yeah, movement speed, movement attack speed, great. But I'm running out of mana just because they are so hard to kill, so I have to recharge all the time. Yeah, it's kind of intense. Let's focus a bit. And on top of all this, the spires, 2 spires shooting at us. So yeah, it is what it is. At least we don't have a lot of damage modifiers too, so from that point of view we're safe. But it still takes a long time to actually kill them. Yeah, static orb doesn't do much. We have void bombs from the cleric. We have these 2 Nagasa attacking us, and the 2 horrors. throwing boulders at us. So I'm sure the developers didn't intend for the game to be played this way, at this high corruption with all these modifiers. But yeah, it's what we need in order to increase our item rarity chance from the boss, from Elder Gaspar. And yeah, trying to get those ravenous void grubs, as the ones following the stream already know. And if and when that objective will change, you'll eventually see it in the title and of course the info section in the top left of the screen. But for now we're good with this, instead of trying out new classes, which I won't get to use in multiplayer anyway. I'd rather focus on this high-end character and do the end game thoroughly, which I guess is also a bit more interesting for you guys than just building a class from scratch. You can see on all the other streams. And if you want to see my build, skill trees, my gear, all that, lightning sorcerer, static orb, lightning blast, just use the build command also in the title, or you can use the commands. And you can see all commands you can use on the chat for this channel. It's kind of intense. And we didn't even get one spire down yet. We're out of potions, out of mana, so yeah, these modifiers are not very pleasant, let's say. It's also pretty difficult to see when the spires are shooting, because we're not fire spires, we're void spires. Prison spires, sorry. The void spires actually summon some little void mobs when they explode. Sometimes the flame ward does get triggered on its own, but the imprisoned spires, yeah, I guess when you step into the puddle there, it slows your movement, or if they hit you, it slows your movement. Maybe that's why they call it imprisoned spires. But whichever movement impairing effects like stun get cast on me if I have flame ward on cooldown. I mean, if I have at least one available charge of flame ward, or if it's not on cooldown, when it gets cast automatically, it's a point in the skill tree for flame ward. Wow, going down already or not? Tough, I tell you. Excuse me. Okay, the first spire out of 2. So it took me like 15 minutes to get to it. This is actually only the third echo we're doing. So 10 minutes per echo, that's kind of insane. But with these modifiers, there's not much you can do. They're very, very tough to kill, the mobs. Just look at how long it takes to kill that imprisoned spire. I actually have to use 2 full mana charges just to get it down. 1 spire out of the 3. Pretty insane. Whew, okay. That one's done, and the other one is all the way to the other edge of the map. Great positioning. Yeah, these clerics are dangerous. These void explosions do a lot of damage, and they cast like very far away from themselves, so they have a high range. Wow, okay. Because you don't actually get to see them, and they already cast that void explosion under you, and then, yeah. If we had more damage modifiers, then they can also one-shot me. but there are no damage modifiers now, except the base modifier, 250% increased damage and health. Yeah, this game is tough. The game is tough. When the modifiers really kick in, after let's say 300 corruption or so, the game gets tough. I'll not lie to you and say it's easy, because in high-end game it isn't. It really isn't. And wait till you get to tier 4 Jura. It's gonna be fun as well. We'll get to tier 4 Jura after we get the Ravenous Void Gloves. That is, if we get them. I cannot guarantee that. All I can guarantee is that we'll try. And we'll not only try, but we'll do our best. Just as we have in the last month, coming to an end soon. And yeah, this week, on Thursday and Friday, I won't be available to stream, even though I normally stream every day, but this week I will have a work event to attend to. Wow, let's get out here. And Thursday and Friday I won't be available. I'll actually update the info of the stream, I think that's easier. You guys actually read that? I guess you do. You wanna see how many times we killed Gaspar already? Without getting the gloves, right? So let's just finish this echo right here. Bam. Done. Let's get out of here and let's update the info as well. So let's see, Elder Gaspar. Ravenous Void Farm. Yeah, we know that we're doing the Ravenous Void Farm, right? This week. Stream, offline. Thursday and Friday. So yeah, you're going to join the stream on, or planning to join the stream on Thursday or Friday this week. We'll see each other on Saturday, but day tomorrow and Wednesday, normal schedule from 5:30 p.m. Central Europe time, 11:30 a.m. East Coast time. Chance to blind on a hit, increased damage over time for minions, 200 spears. Melee void damage, sure, that's for the Void Knight for sure. Increased melee damage, damage over time for minions, yeah, maybe for some primalist or something. Okay. So I'll update the epoch here, and you can see this Thursday and Friday still will be offline. Exceptionally, because that doesn't normally happen, but due to a work event I won't be able to stream at those times, maybe later in the evening, but we'll see when I get home. So at some point we'll have to reset all the echoes we already done, because we only have this wing here left. Not very promising, so we still have 2 vessels of memory we can use. Here is one. And this one just rerolls rewards, I guess. We can do that as well, but we're not really looking for echo rewards. Not anymore. Just looking for the Ravenous Void Gloves from Elder Gaspar, the monolith boss in the last ruin. So yeah, let's reset like the 100 echoes we've already discovered in this web, because this web is fully discovered now. We went all of the edges, and then we can just do the edge again to increase the stability gain, so that we can get faster to Gaspar. Would be, I don't know, try 107, 108, I don't even know. What does it say on the screen here? How many times did we kill Gaspar already? One 107 times, so 108th time. So I guess on Saturday, when we also stream for longer, the weekly stream, of course, we'll get to about 115 kills for Gaspar. And I did promise that at 150, we'll actually stop. Do something else, try to do tier 4 Jura without the Ravenous Void, if they don't drop. But hope dies last, right? This 35% critical strike avoidance is the problem. This is why I get kill them so slowly. 60% endurance is also an issue, and the chance to dodge on top of that, but I would say the 45% critical strike chance is the biggest issue for my build. It's because I'm a spell critical strike chance based build, and my spell critical strike chance is the base one of 74%. So if I have 45% increased critical strike avoidance, basically my critical strike chance for spells drops to 39%. Level 74. Okay, so this vessel will just keep spawning mobs, and because I cannot kill them because of these modifiers, it's just going to take a long while. But I'm simply running out of mana. I cannot kill them all in this rhythm. So I guess I can just kite them around, kill the other mobs first, so I can get the vessel and destroy it. So yeah. Joys of 557 corruption. What can I say? I guess the vessel of memory has more life as well. It's running out of mana. Now let's just get out of here, replenish mana. There's some other mobs, I guess. At least the vessel itself is not attacking us. Well, let's see how we can solve this puzzle. Just running out of mana. The mobs have too much life. So it's just useless to attack them because the vessel will just spawn more of them. At least I don't have the heal modifier. If I don't hit them, they heal. That would be even worse. Almost done, but yeah. Not the way this game was intended to be played, I'm sure. The skeletons hit pretty hard. Let's get a health potion. Almost there, almost there. Maybe just run away with them a bit. Yeah, because I don't get to hit the vessel itself, just because these elementals are pretty big. And there's too many of them, and yeah. They move slowly, at least. Yeah, let's just go get this vessel now. But the vessel itself has more life and critical strike avoidance too, so yeah. So we're done, yeah? Good. Goodbye. Here we go. Hey Maximus, this is softcore. I couldn't get to level 100 and the type of gear I'm having with hardcore. We die quite a lot on this stream, so it's not really a build for hardcore, I'd say. So now we've resetted all the echoes again, so we're just going to backtrack our steps. Do you play hardcore yourself, Maximus? Because we have a viewer here, a regular normally, common hours who plays hardcore as a necromancer. I think he's at his 4th or 5th necromancer. I think his highest was 94. But nah, I'm not man enough for hardcore, not yet. Well, maybe balance the game a bit more, maybe, but not as a sorcerer, that's for sure. I see. What is your mastery for hardcore, Maximus? If I may ask. I'm always curious about hardcore builds and what works and what not. I see. I think the last weekend was a masochist game mode. But was there also a specific mastery involved? I guess not. You just had to play on Masochist, right? And by the way, Masochist is what mobs have double the damage, 100% more damage, and the player has what, 50% less health, or how does it work? I know that Masochist mode gets unlocked when you finish the campaign. When creating a new character, at least that's what I heard. I didn't try it myself because I'm not a masochist. Sentinel, I see. So Sentinel, you can play as what, the Void Knight, the Forge Guard, or the Paladin. Doesn't matter what, it just has to be Sentinel, right? Got it. I'm not playing the races because I stream every day, Mondays to Fridays, and also on Saturday evening, a longer weekly stream, but I take the Sundays off. Relax, go to the beach, especially with this heat here in Berlin. So yeah, I don't want to stay indoors in this heat to be playing and racing. But when autumn hits, multiplayer hits, then I'll probably join as well. Will still take place, that is. Common hours, welcome back, my friend. How was Nebraska? Was it hot or was it scorching hot? I think comparison Harris Berlin is hot, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 48 degrees Celsius. But I guess Nebraska was even worse. Yeah, I actually read that from a developer that answered on a Reddit thread some time ago that the masochist mode was just a joke. They were pushing to delete the designer just because some people were complaining, even from the internal team of 11 Hour Games, that the game was too easy. But I think with the game being too easy is that, yeah, I'm playing this at 557 Corruption. You can just look at those modifiers on the right. It's actually crazy, so it really depends. Campaign might seem easy, the first couple of monoliths might seem easy, until you get to the empowered monoliths, and then yeah, if you raise the corruption over 200, 300, then you can start to feel the pain. I actually tried to make a viable build for the end game, but this is not a viable build for hardcore, so don't even think about it. I would have died so many times. This would have been my 178th sorcerer or something like that, were I to play hardcore with this build. Just insane. And if you also play solo single found, like not using the stash at all, gear up, man, you've gotta have a lot of time on your hands, boy. And where are you from, Maximus, if I may ask, of course. You don't have to answer, only if it's not a very private question. I'm actually curious if you have more viewers from Europe or more viewers from the US, Canada as well, because yeah, some people prefer to watch the stream in the morning if they live on the West Coast in the US. I myself stream after work every day from Berlin, Central Europe time, so that works for me as well. LA, so here you go. So yeah, I guess you can watch this short little stream in the morning, because I stream daily for an hour and a half, Mondays to Thursdays. Fridays a bit more, at least 2 hours, and Saturday evenings I stream for 3-4 hours. Fortunately though, this week you can see in the info text on the left hand side of the screen on top. Thursdays and Fridays I won't be able to stream. I like to let the community know in advance. We have like some work being planned out, some team drinking probably, but yeah, they're also called team building, as it's too hot in the office or in the home office to just stay and work, so we're gonna take us somewhere nice and just do some team building games. I don't know, I'm open for anything really. I'd rather stay home, but hey, sometimes it's nice to go out and relax a bit. Yeah, common hours. Yesterday we went to the beach again. So yeah, the nudist beach, I recommend it. Teufelsee in Berlin. It's very nice. If you ever come on here, I guess for an American it's actually a little curious to have nudist beaches, because I know in the US it's a big taboo. And I guess the only taboo that there is. But here in Europe, especially Germany, here in Germany also in the sauna you get it naked, and it's also mixed, like so both women and men in the same place together, and you have to be completely naked. They say for hygiene reasons, but let's be honest, that's not what it's about. They're just big old perverts, these Germans. Oh, for sure, for sure. They do look kind of weird at you if you're even trying to get your smartphone out to text someone or anything, because of course they're kind of forbidden. It's kind of a no-no, because I guess some perverts just come over, take pictures, take videos, whatever. But yeah, it's a sight to behold. It's very nice. So, but of course, I mean, of all ages. So even 70 years old. I guess that's not your thing. But yeah, as I said, you have to be selective, you know, where you're looking. But that's basically it. If you do that, you're safe. For sure, for sure, for sure. Especially Berlin is pretty open-minded about these things. I actually read that this whole nudist bitch thing is a thing that comes from the communist era. So it actually came from Eastern Germany first, and of course Berlin as well, since Berlin was divided into West and East. But then it caught on, and yeah, the rest of Germany was also caught up on that. Except Bavaria, I would say. Don't visit Bavaria, because they're very conservatory, very religious, let's say. So it's kind of a different mentality over there. I won't say Bavaria is Germany. I know some people got inflamed, some people from Germany got a bit inflamed yesterday, as maybe you know, the G7 conference is taking place in Bavaria right now, in Elmau, Castle Elmau. And yeah, they welcomed the world leaders of the G7 countries, like of course the US, France, Canada, Italy, Japan, UK, and so forth. They welcome them in like traditional liveries, traditional garbs and all that. Traditional music, and yeah, it was a bit odd, let's say. Some people in Germany didn't like that, just because Bavaria is not Germany. But yeah, if you ever come to Germany, come to Berlin. Lots of things to do here. Big city. Not as big as LA, mind you, but still, lots of things to do. So Common Hours, how was your concert? Did you make any new fans? Or did you get any new fans? Going back very soon. Speaking of Oregon, I actually finished last year Life is Strange 2 yesterday. Because for some reason I didn't play the last episode. I just got bored and left the last episode aside. And since I've upgraded my internet connection, I can actually download it like 33 megabytes per second, and I could get the client for Life is Strange 2 again, just to play the last episode. Because Life is Strange 2, man, has a 50 gigabyte download. It's insane. Because it's very different from the first one. It's kind of a road movie, and each episode has different location, different characters. Kind of confusing, really, because that style didn't make me care about the other characters, really, not too much. So the first Life is Strange is still my favorite, but I actually got on the Steam Summer Sale the third iteration in the series, Life is Strange True Colors. Is, I don't know, about a girl that can detect emotions, something like that, about empathy. I don't know. It gives me some vibes like that Disney movie with the emotions. Hopefully it's not childish in any way, because Life is Strange is really intended for a mature audience, that's for sure. And yeah, I'll come back on YouTube and talk about it once I finish it. The new internet is very stable, so we managed to get it installed on Friday, and it's very stable, so it won't drop up, that's for sure. And I can see my bitrate in the Twitch dashboard that it's actually very stable. It's not oscillating in any way. The upload rate is about the same, just because you can't get a better upload rate unless you get optic fiber, and optic fiber is like the holy grail or something like that. You don't really see in Germany, but yeah, over the phone line, let's say the upload speed is good, and the download is significantly better, because I could download the Life is Strange 2 50 gigabytes, yeah, 50 gigabytes client. I downloaded it in like 15 minutes. Yeah, sounds about right. 15 minutes, something like that. Maybe 20. And I also downloaded Life is Strange True Colors, which I didn't play yet. And yeah, that client is 27 gigabytes, 29, something like that, so not 50. But that's understandable, because Life is Strange 2 is like kind of an experiment, and they leave Seattle, so Washington State, and go southwards to Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, and downwards to Arizona. Not sure if they cross Nevada as well, and on their way to Mexico. And of course we also touch on Arcadia Bay, the fictional city, the fictional small town in Life is Strange 1. And based on your decision at the end of the first Life is Strange, the city is either there or it isn't. So yeah. But yeah, the first Life is Strange was actually a very pleasant surprise. I enjoyed that story a lot. Characters as well. Time travel and all that. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Okay. And today, common hours, back at work? Or did you take a day off at least? Cool down, relax a bit, have a beer, or a non-alcoholic beverage of your choice. We don't necessarily encourage drinking here, but with this heat, man, I'm going to the supermarket, just buying something, you know, this and that and the other. And there's always full of people there. Not only Germans, but, you know, all nationalities. This is Berlin, very international city. And we just buy it, but they don't buy like a 6-pack or something like that. No, they buy entire crates of beers, man. At least 2 crates of beers. Buy like 20 beers. Keep them for the day. Because I shit, you know, these Germans drink beers like there's no tomorrow. They go for beers like water. For them, it's also a meal, right? Because the beer has yeast and whatnot. And it's like a meal. They don't even have to eat. They just drink beers. Not all of them, of course. We're not generalizing here, but I just find it funny. That's how you become an alcoholic. You replace all your food with liquid alcohol. Back at work. That's the spirit, my friend. And it's so hot here indoors, you can't imagine. I do have some microphone filters and some stuff so you don't hear like the noise outside. We have the balcony door open and you can hear stuff like birds chirping, cars passing by, people yelling in heat. No, I'm just kidding. But 48 degrees Celsius, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit for our American friends, is something Berlin didn't really see before. And I think in St. Petersburg in Russia, that's even more to the north than Berlin, let's say. There are like 32 or 33 degrees. And the problem is in cities like Berlin or St. Petersburg or whatever, that they don't have any air conditioning because those cities weren't built with air conditioning in mind, right? Because the weather didn't used to be like this. And even in Berlin, I mean, summer used to last like for 2 months, and the rest of the year the temperatures were quite low or very well tempered, let's say. And yeah, now it's changed for reasons well known. And yeah, we have to cool off somehow. And streaming in front of 3 monitors, lights around, and playing resource intensive games that hit up the computer doesn't really help, but hey, what won't I do for you guys? Thank you for the follow, Maximus. Hope to see you here again and that you have a great time here. Don't be afraid to use the chat, we have a very friendly little community. And by the way, just so you know, the stream is very new. I started it in June, so it's like, this is the 5th week, it's a 4-week-old stream. I did used to stream on YouTube Live before. Then I moved to Germany, to Berlin, took a break for about a year, and yeah, now I'm back. We also moved from the first place we got in Berlin, we moved like 2 months ago, so I could actually set up my studio again, everything I brought with me. And yeah, we're all set and ready to go. Wish I had more time, but still I think a daily stream for an hour and a half is quite well for a game that still has a lot of work to do. Like last Epoch, it's just an early access game, but this is what we're streaming right now, and we'll be streaming for a while. So getting ready for the multiplayer, which got confirmed. I guess everybody knows that multiplayer is coming sometime this autumn. And my bet is for October, November, to be honest. Which would put the game on track for a release or 1.0 release sometime around spring 2023. Depending, of course, on when Diablo 4 will launch. Because this game, even if EAG likes it or not, it will have to compete with Diablo 4. And I know some people don't like that EAG sold 20% of its company, or around 20% to Tencent. but we kind of need the money to make this a quality life service game. They need the infrastructure, so hopefully they have all the resources they need to make this successful launch. But the multiplayer will just bring its host of problems with it in the beginning, so I have to be patient. And once multiplayer hits, people will just scream balance patches, because the game is so unbalanced now. 50% alcohol beers, I would say that you will find more of them in Belgium, actually. Belgian beers, it's like Duvel. I'll just write here, it's 15%. Duvel actually means devil, yeah. So if you're in it for the beers, German beers are okay. But well, it depends. If you're talking about Paulaner, Paulaner is a Bavarian beer, and it's kind of too sweet for me. But Paulaner is a world brand, so I'm sure that even in LA you have German restaurants, and whenever you see German restaurant, they actually mean Bavarian restaurant, and they have like these little signs. Paulaner, it's a well-known beer, but it's kind of sweet for my taste, to be honest. They also have some nice more bitter beers in the northwest, like in the Düsseldorf area, Köln. They have the beer Kelch from Köln, so Köln is Cologne, yeah. So northwest maybe for the beers. Northwest is close to, of course, Holland, the Netherlands. And after you finish with Amsterdam in the Netherlands, just go to Belgium. There you'll find the best beer. Just ask for Duvel. Just personal recommendations. Man, so how hot is it in LA actually? I'm just talking about beers, just drinking my water here. Talking about beers because it's just so hot. And as I mentioned, you see like so many people buying dozens upon dozens of beer at the same time. They don't go in for a six-pack, man. Nah, they just buy entire crates of beer. That's how hot it is. Especially to German standards. Were this hardcore, Maximus, we would start all over again. So no thank you. These modifiers is pretty difficult as this, so I'd rather, you know, play the game relaxed. Don't have to worry about it. So actually, we're over 900 stability. We could do Gaspar, but the modifiers we have right now, as you can see, we have 358% increased item rarity, and the idea is to get to around 500 so that we can cap the drop rate for the Ravenous Void to about the maximum, which is 3%. But since we use that vessel of memory, we have to actually think and see which direction we can take. And I'd also like to get rid of this critical strike avoidance modifier, because this is really keeping me away from my success. Okay, we have an 85% increased health and damage one here. Gives us 85% increased item rarity, so we can go with this one, with this direction. Actually, well, I have to convert that to Celsius, my friend, because Fahrenheit is really not my specialty. I am a Celsius guy. Well, as you see, 21, so yeah, that's the perfect temperature for the human body at 21, 22 Celsius. It's how it used to be in Berlin, maybe outside of 2 months in summer, when it would go a bit higher, but now it's just the same. Global warming and whatnot. Alright, so we'll do this echo. We'll do the other one with the 85% increased health and damage. We also get rid of this 45% critical strike avoidance modifier in this echo. And then we'll do Gaspar. How does that sound? Well, when I think of LA, I always think about it like a very, very hot city in the summer at least. Of course, LA is also pretty big, so. Yeah, it's actually unbelievable, but it seems that this month's goal will actually be reached by the end of the month. And this is just a small modest goal for starting channel, looking to get to 25 followers, just because Twitch affiliate or whatever it's called to improve the chat experience for you guys requires 50 followers for some reason. It's quite achievable, I'm sure. However, I am multi-streaming on YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and Trovo as well. So, not looking for that Twitch exclusivity just yet. I'd rather reach as many people as possible who enjoy this kind of content, so yeah. And my little rantings about Berlin and whatever else is happening about. Quite a nice city, I like it a lot. What are we doing here? Patrolling infernal houses, okay. Not my day. It's not my day. Lost a bit of focus here. Talking to you guys, but I'd rather talk to you guys than play the game on my own and not die. Maybe we'll just go this way. No biggie. That's why I don't play hardcore. Because were I to play hardcore, I'd either die all the time or not talk with you guys at all, just because I'd be too focused to play the game. I'm actually looking forward to the day when I'll see like level 100 or over level 90 sorcerers with mine build in hardcore. That's my challenge for you guys. Because I don't see the sorcerer in this game as a viable build for hardcore. Sorry. And if you're really cocky, like Common Hours did here, just go and try tier 4 Jureline hardcore. That's a surefire way to lose your character. To just avoid amalgamation. Still here, easy enough, right? But we still have that 35% critical strike avoidance modifier on me, so let's try and not die here because I actually want to get rid of that. It's high time we get rid of it. Used to do this all the time in Diablo 3. Just wait for them to go for the archway. But of course Diablo 3 had better animations and better combat feel than Last Epoch currently has. But they said they're working on it, so to make it more responsive, more impactful. But whenever I'm watching melee classes, guys playing melee classes in Last Epoch, it just looks sad. The combat has no impact at all. It doesn't have to be Wilson-like, but still. It's better to just play range classes. It's easier, you die less at bosses. And you also don't get to suffer seeing that melee character just swinging at the enemies and nothing happening really. Animation-wise. Or visual impact-wise. Sure, I get it, better is better, but let's hope they nail that combat kill. It's about time. And I just say that last Epoch didn't disappoint until now. However, they used to be a bit more fast when it came to new iterations and new content or major content updates, just because their income depended on how many copies of last Epoch they sold. Well, now that Tencent bought 20% of the company, I'm sure they got some millions out of it, for sure. And yeah, there's no pressure now to release new content at the same cadence they used to, because they have their money from Tencent. So their income doesn't depend as much over the next months or the next year from how many copies of the game they sell right now. Which means they can just take their time. The last content update was in March. We just added 2 new dungeons really. Not a lot of people are playing, especially if they're not geared for the high end. They don't have a lot of keys. And yeah, sometime in autumn, they did used to say September-ish, but now they don't even say that. They just say that it might get delayed from September for sure. So we can expect in October, November we'll get the multiplayer. So if you look back for the entire year, 2022, just 2 new dungeons, so far Bastion, Lifeless Harbor, and the Champion Arena, I guess, just an arena. And multiplayer, which no multiplayer release has ever been without its issues. So it will depend on how long it takes them to fix said issues. Mainly technical issues, server crashes, all that stuff. We all remember Error 37 from Diablo 3. Actually, when Diablo 3 came out, I just waited for a while. I was a young penniless guy back then. Didn't have 60 euros to just give up for Diablo 3 the day it came out. I just waited for some reviews, and then people were complaining for the first 2-3 weeks that they couldn't even get into the game because of that Error 37 server crash issue. So they couldn't log in, and of course the game had no offline single player mode, so you had to be online to play. Very nice. It reminded me of when I got Half-Life 2, which came out at the end of 2003, the year 2003, and I went to actually buy the original game because I didn't want to play a cracked version of the game. I was just a freshman in college, man. It was a very cold day in the city, and I went to the brick and mortar store, as you would buy games back then. They came in boxes with printed manuals. You didn't get them over Steam because Steam didn't exist. Steam just came out, and Half-Life 2 was actually the first game that required a Steam account and always online connection in order to play. And it was the same as with Diablo 3, so I got the game and I couldn't play it for a month because I couldn't make an account with Steam. It just wasn't working. Servers were down all the time. So I just got a cracked version at the end. Just played the cracked version for Half-Life 2. But of course, with a game like Diablo 3, you can't just really get a cracked version. Because you don't get any item drops. I think even the mobs were rendered online. It's crazy. But they did say that when multiplayer gets released, Last Epoch will still keep its offline single player mode, so you won't lose anything from your characters or your stash now. That's what they intend, at least, but you know how it is. It won't be the first time Last Epoch wipes your stash. Because whenever you apply some changes from a different code base, because we're working on 2 parallel projects right now, the single player and the multiplayer, which are 2 different repositories in GitHub, let's say, yeah. And we have to kind of merge those 2 projects into one big project, the live service version or the always online version, and just merge or put the single player offline version somehow around that. And whenever you do change like that, something always goes wrong. So I am a developer myself, even if I'm not a game developer. And I can tell you that these big merges between two projects never go as planned. Not to mention planning them takes a very long time. I'm not very confident about that multiplayer in September, even September-ish. But for sure by the end of the year it will come out for us to test it. We are testing it with community testers right now, but that's more of a multiplayer alpha, and what we'll get will be the multiplayer beta. And we're calling it multiplayer beta just because the game doesn't have all its masteries yet. We're still missing the Warlock, the Rune Master, so the Warlock for the Acolyte, the Rune Master for the Sorcerer, and the Falconeer for the Rogue. The 3 masteries are still missing, which I'm sure would balance multiplayer more than what we'll get in the first iteration. Yeah, so this is my least favorite map template in the last ruin. The last ruin monolith. These last catacombs, because I always get lost in the last catacombs. You just can't follow the arrows, because the arrowhead just points in a general direction, which is enclosed by walls. So you just have to go through all these corridors, and we still have that 35% critical strike avoidance modifier, which bugs me. Just have to explore all these corridors to get to the objective. Can't really rush it. And the last ruin itself is always full of catacombs, corridors, dank places, dank dark places where the void likes to hang out. Why couldn't it be more like the Stolen Lands? Go through forests and jungles and tundras and desert oases. Well, maybe not desert oasis when it's so hot outside. I prefer the snowy tundras right now, when I'm eating an ice cream or stuff like that. And welcome and hello to everybody new watching the stream. Glad you could join us. I stream every day, but Mondays to Thursdays the stream is a bit shorter, just an hour and a half. Just the after work stream, we gather and get a beer. Or if it's morning, if you're on the west coast and it's morning for you, then no beer for you. Just drinking some coffee together. On Fridays and Saturdays, yeah, it gets on for about 3 hours or so, maybe even more, depending on who's coming to watch and how active you guys are on the chat. Because you see, when we have critical strike avoidance, then my health just drops through the floor. Don't go for that portal, because I have the synergy between the Twisted Heart of the Chaos and the Prism Wraps. What the Twisted Heart does is whenever I cast, a portion of my health gets turned into ward, so the energy shield. And to get the health back, then I need to crit by using the Prism Wraps. I need to crit, and 7.9% of elemental damage is leached as health back. So basically I get the ward and the health leached back, but for that I need to crit. And if mobs have critical strike avoidance, then all that goes to the shatter. That's why it takes so long. Not to mention it impacts my damage, that's secondary really. What I care more about is the survivability, because that's how it is in RPGs. You get to survive and die less, then you do more damage overall. I just do high burst damage and die all the time. Almost there. Almost there, and hope to get to do Gaspar as well this evening. Because man, with the modifiers we had today, it went really slow. I said I'd avoid damage modifiers and just focus more on other types of modifiers. But now with the modifiers that increase health, they give them dodge chance, critical strike avoidance, endurance and whatnot. It just takes ages to kill them. And I just use my entire mana pool and nothing happens. Yeah, let's not die now. So it took me, on average, like 10 minutes to do one echo. 10 minutes to complete one echo, including the ones we died in. We died in 2, right? You see my health doesn't get replenished at all because I do not crit. Which is kind of weird because I have 74% spell critical strike chance. So with 45% critical strike avoidance, that is in the end 49% spell critical strike chance only. You can see how I do not damage the void amalgamation at all. It's, the situation is grim, guys. It's going to take longer to kill him than to actually kill Gaspar. Last Epoch, the way it's meant to be played. I'm just kidding, don't do this at home, folks. Don't raise the corruption to 557 and get these insane modifiers just because you want to farm the rarest item in the game, the Ravenous Void. No, I found 3 prison wraps all without legendary potential. I know it exists, I know it's out there, I want to believe. As Agent Mulder was saying, I want to believe that there is a Prism Wraps with legendary potential out there, but I just didn't encounter any just yet. Wow, half health. So this is actually taking as long as another Gaspar fight. Insane modifiers. I love to find Prism Wraps with LP, but hey, I think Prism Wraps is pretty high level, unique to the legends say that the number of LP slots increases as the unique level is lower. Now, so Prism Wraps is level 5. Theoretically, there is a Prism Wraps with even 4 LP, the maximum in this game. Because it's level 5 unique, so yeah. Has anybody found a Prism Wraps with LP in this game yet? Because I'd be very interested in that. Sure, we will be able to trade it, and when multiplayer starts, then we'll just start from the beginning. But yeah, it is what it is. They didn't say anything about actually adding a method for trading items in the game when multiplayer hits, so that remains to be seen. Okay, guys. So let's see now. And still 370 increased item rarity, I don't know what to say. Let's get this shred armor on a hit and then this 85% increased health and damage. Then we're ready to do Gaspar. Even though normally in 8 minutes I would have to leave you, I will stay with you a bit longer so that I don't leave you short-handed without doing Gaspar at least once this evening. And yes, please note, as I've mentioned in the info section in the upper left side of the screen, due to exceptional reasons, this week I will be offline on Thursday and Friday, which means the next stream will be tomorrow, Wednesday, and then on Saturday, only for this week. Since I have some work-related stuff. Well, work and pleasure, I guess, mixing business and pleasure for some teamwork, team building event, something like that. Especially after all these years of pandemics and corona and whatnot. It's actually the first time we'll see each other as a team in quite a while, let's say. So of course I will be there. And I like to let you know in advance, especially since this is a new channel and there aren't a lot of people following me on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that where I announce this kind of thing. And of course also it's good to look up the schedule section of the channel on Twitch, because there you find the most updated schedule. I know I have a countdown for the next stream in the info panel as well, but it's best to just check the schedule and see if there are any cancelled streams or streams marked as cancelled for the week or for today. And yeah, that's all I had to say about these administrative things. It's not the most exciting thing to do, but yeah, I like for you guys to actually know when I'm streaming, so that you're not wondering, hey, okay, this guy's kind of cool, I want to see him again, but doesn't say when he's streaming, or he's not keeping the schedule. That's one of the rookie mistake people make when they're streaming. Instead of trying to stream 8 hours a day or something like that without having a job, it's best to just stream less on a couple of days, 3 days of the week, or 3 hours or so, but keep to that schedule, man. It's also annoying for me if I want to watch a guy, promising new streamer, and yeah, it just disappears, vanishes. And yeah, he has a schedule in their calendar, he or she, but yeah, they don't actually keep to that schedule. It's quite annoying for me as a viewer. Okay, let's seal the ash gate, and this is the one with the exploding dinosaurs, which are a pain because they have a range damage, and if you get closer to them they explode when you kill them, so let's just keep that in mind. Let's just say the exploding dinosaurs kill me a lot of times with their on-death effect. One more reason to not play hardcore. So yeah, sorry. I'm not man enough for that. Not with this class. That's on the music station. The music station is pretty engaging tonight. Kind of a mix between electronic music and rock, and kind of industrial. Pretty good. I'm using this application called Pretzel Rocks, and they claim at least that the music is 100% legal for Twitch, which is what I'm looking for, because I think it's important, really. And they of course pay the artists for their efforts. So let's see now. Actually, 414% increased item rarity. Well guys, since this is pretty much the end of the stream for today as to our schedule, let's do gas power once, even if the item rarity is not 500% just yet, so that we can keep to our schedule, and I'll get you back your lives so you can watch another Last Epoch stream afterwards. And I actually have to go to the office of the company I work for, get my monthly ticket for the public transport in Berlin. They used to have another system, but now they are going to give us like a digital card, which just gets recharged automatically. So hopefully that's the last time this year I go to the office. But thankfully it's just in my mailbox, so I don't have to go during working hours. Because it's, yeah, it's 7 p.m. here. I can just go whenever and pick up the card. Because otherwise I won't be able to get the team building on Thursday and Friday. It would be a shame. Common Hours Music, I actually told them about you, your Necromancer, your hardcore Necromancer. Which iteration is it? The 4th or the 5th? Talking about how fun hardcore is. I guess for some people it's fun to lose their characters, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine. Just like for some people it's fun to play the Masochist game mode. Let's get our mono back. I think it's the 4th Necromancer, right? If I remember correctly. I'm just waiting for the game to get balanced, man. And then honestly, I'll play hardcore as well. But not with this class. And the thing about Necromancers, I love playing Necromancers, man. But the thing about Necromancers is that you cannot focus their damage on a single target. This sorcerer I'm playing is the opposite of that. It hits with surgical accuracy. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It hits with surgical accuracy. Wow, so keys and shards. 413 increased item rarity. 108 gas per kill, and this is all we get. I should really get, whenever we'll do that 105 kills for Gaspar, I'll have to get a t-shirt that says I killed Elder Gaspar 150 times and all I got was this stupid t-shirt and a lot of keys. So yeah, I'm actually holding off on doing Soulfire Bastion and the Lightless Arbor and Tier 4 Jura in the Temporal Sanctum, because I want to get these gloves first, but I don't know what to say. Probably until multiplayer hits, this is what we're going to be doing. So guys, if you liked what you've seen today, just follow the channel and let's see each other tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Central Europe time, 11:30 a.m. East Coast time. Have a nice day, evening, night, or morning, common hours. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Have a good evening. Bye.